showing you how to get this kind of hair colory style look. It's not really showing up that great on camera, but it is a bit more ombre in person. This is darker, and then it does get lighter. And there are different hues in here, like there are more greeny parts and then more turquoisey bluey parts. Funny story, this totally wasn't what I was going for at all, but when I went to pick up the colors that I wanted, sorry, I'm like itchy. They actually didn't have the colors that I was looking for to make what I wanted to do happen. I'm not going to give it away because when this fades I probably will try again for what I wanted the first time, but they didn't have the colors I wanted, so I kind of just had to make do with what was there, and I ended up also having to use a brand that I'd never used before, or I'd only used it like once before, so I wasn't really sure how that was going to turn out. But anywho's, I will explain more of that at the end of the video because I don't want the intro to be too long, so I kind of filmed it in vlog style of how you can go from dark to light, but then I'll explain why it doesn't look as ombre as I was expecting it to after I show you what I did. So let's just get right into it. Alright guys, so I have my 3 different colors of green. I would have used all ion colors, but they didn't have a middle green to the Sally's I went to, and there's only one in my city, so I just picked up this stuff. I have bought it before, I haven't used it before though, this particular brand, so I actually don't know if it's going to be good or not. But so we have the jade that's going to go on the base, and then it's going to ombre to this more intense green, and then to this really light green. I would have also preferred lime green, but again, they didn't have that, so I'm just kind of working with what I got. I'm going to put them in these 3 separate containers, and I do have 3 separate brushes for them, but if you don't have 3 separate brushes, that's okay. You can just use 1 brush, but remember to constantly be wiping it off as you're putting on different colors. And then I also have some tin foil here. So let's get started, guys. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put color here on the back of my shaved head and on the side of it. I'm not going to go up on my longer parts until I've done that first. I've already done this side and the back of my head. Yeah, I didn't want to show that because I couldn't. One thing I forgot to mention is all these colors that are ready to use, which means you don't have to mix developer with them, and it will say that on the box when you go to buy it. Because some you do need to mix with developer, and then you just have to remember to get it, because a lot of times I'll get home, I won't have developer, and then I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? Now I'm just gonna take this jade green that I put on the sides up my hair slightly, probably to about there, because I am gonna take the medium green and then blend it in with that and raise it a bit up, and then the tops will be left for just the lime green chartreusey color. I think that's what it says on the box, I'm not sure. And I am going to put tin foil between each of them. I don't really think I need to because I'm ombreing it all the same color. Usually you use tin foil to separate different colors, but I'm just going to anyways, so let's do it. So this is what it looks like right now, and I'm just going to do both sides. Like I'm going to do this side, put some foil down, flip it down, do the ombre again, and keep going with that pattern throughout the rest of my hair, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. So I just folded this tin foil upwards. Like there it is, I just folded it over. Now I'm going to put a new piece over top and fold this stuff down. Alright guys, so right now I'm just adding the medium green and slightly mixing it in with the dark jade color, and then I'm going to go in with the light chartreuse green and mix that with the medium green. Now once I have this side done, I would fold this side over onto the tinfoil and then do the other side of this hair and then fold the tinfoil over and then add a new piece of tinfoil and repeat the same process. Okay, so I just took the tinfoils out and this is what it looks like. I did have to take a bit of the lightest green on just my glove, and I just like pinched my tips and rubbed it in certain spots, because on this side I did miss a couple spots, which is why it's always good to double check everything and make sure, especially if you're doing it by yourself because you don't have to do it again, that you've hit everywhere. So now again, I'll leave it for probably 25 minutes-ish. Okay guys, this is how it originally looked. I will get into more of what happened later in the video, but it turns out my medium green and my chartreuse that was supposed to be the really light green turned out to be very similar in color, so it didn't get as ombre as I wanted it to, and I thought that there was too much difference between the jade color and the green, so I went back in and hit it with another layer of jade, also ombreing it into the green, which overall made all the colors blend together better, and this is what it turned out as. The jade did run a bit more than I expected, so it ended up turning more bluey than greeny, but I still really like it, and there's still lots of dimension in it, just not what I was hoping it was going to turn out as. But like I said, I will be doing another ombre one, and it is still ombre. It's hard to tell in pictures, but like in real life it still goes from dark to light, just not as obvious as I would have liked it to be. I don't believe that the application was the problem. I feel like you could still do the same application but with the right colors and you would get an ombre. I just think that because I had that medium green that was so close to the other green, it just didn't get that effect, so. Okay guys, so this is what happened. I need to look up the color name because now I won't remember. The two ion colors were pretty good, I guess. They were fairly close to what I thought they were going to be. One was lighter and one was darker than I thought it was going to be, and not the right way. Like, I wanted the chartreuse ion to be a lot lighter, more like a lime green, because that's what its hair strand looked like. It looks very similar to that. And then I wanted the jade color, which is mostly what you see all over my head now, to be a lot darker. I had to hit my head with 2 layers of jade to get it this actual color, which is pretty close to what the hair strand looked like in the Sally's Beauty Salon, but it is still irritating that like it didn't get this the first try, especially since my hair was very blonde, like pretty much white blonde, a little bit of yellow undertones, but so that was super shitty. And then what really messed it up was the Perfect Intensity Argan Oil brand. What's the name of it? It like doesn't have a fucking name. I don't know. Anyways, the one that wasn't an ion color ended up being exactly like the chartreuse dye that I had. Like, they were literally almost like you couldn't tell the difference between the two colors. So instead of getting an ombre, at first I had like this jade color, which was lighter the first time I hit it, and then bright green on top, and I didn't really like the way it looked. So what I did is I went in with a second layer of jade, and I brought the jade a bit higher on each layer. And then when I washed it out, what ended up happening is the jade faded into the green and kind of mixed with it, rather than it keeping like the solid ombre that it had. For some reason, like, the jade color really ran, and I think it was because it's part of the ion like metallic colors-ish. Like, I've never actually had that happen with an ion dye, and I've used quite a few of those. So yeah, that was kind of poopy. It was kind of like a poopy experience overall, but I really like how it turned out. Like, I really like my color now. This isn't really the true color of it. If you want to see what it actually looks like, you can go to my Instagram, XOXOPrettyBitches. I also believe I posted it on Twitter and Tumblr, but I will see if I can pull it up right now for you guys, because there's a bit more green hues in it that you just can't see because this camera and I'm outside in natural lighting and it's just not wanting to pick it up. But like, can you zoom in? Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Like, that's the picture I posted, and as you can see, there's more like green up at the front and on the tops, and then it's more like turquoisey on the sides, which right now I think it looks a bunch of different hues of turquoise, which is totally cool. Like, I'm okay with that. When you dye your hair fun colors, it's gonna look completely different in, you know, outside lighting compared to indoor lighting, fluorescent, and all of that different shenanigans. I still like how it turned out, and I still believe that the technique I used would work if you wanted to ombre your hair, but I think I just had shitty colors, like, and not shitty colors in the sense that they were bad dye, but in the sense that, oh my god, sorry, there were 2 wasps, and I'm just like, fucking I see you, bitch, I fucking see you. In the sense that they were too similar in color, because you want like a dark, a medium, and a really light to get that ombre effect, or just a dark and a light and then blend the two. But I thought I'd try 3 just so it would be easier to blend for me for my first time ombreing my hair. But yeah, it sucks that the 2 colors, even though they looked completely different in the stores, the chartreuse ion and then the argan oil color, looked totally different on their hair samples in store, but ended up looking quite similar together when I had them on my hair. So that was a learning experience. I would, like, if there would have been a medium green in the Ion colors. There wasn't even a medium green in Manic Panic. Like, all the greens were like sold out, and I was like, what the fuck? Which is why I kind of ended up with more of this weird bluey color, because the jade that I had turned more blue than green. There's a lot going on here that just was like, what is happening? But I do really like how it turned out, and I will do an ombre again once this starts to fade. I do have leftover color, so I might dye this one more time, and then once it fades, dye it again, let that fade, and then go again for another ombre color. But yeah, so that was my experience. I hope you did learn something. I know it was kind of like an accident that this happened, but I genuinely feel it was more the color rather than the application, and that is something to keep in mind for when you do your own hair. Like, you can go by the strand as much as you want, even if you have blonde hair like me, because I always think, oh, you know, people with dark hair have to worry about it because they won't get the same color that's there, but if you have like white hair and you put a dye over it, it's going to take pretty much no matter what, so it should be almost exactly like the hair strand, and in this case it totally wasn't. I do feel like the Ion hair strands are pretty similar to the actual color that they are, like give or take. It might be a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, but I mean, something you can at least go by, whereas I feel like the argan oil one wasn't even close, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, anyways guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something from it, even though it was kind of like all over the place. But yeah, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below. What other like hair videos do you guys want to see? I'm gonna do an Ion versus Manic Panic review because I use both of those brands quite a bit. Like the pros and cons of each. That's one. I also have other, of course, Pixie hairstyling videos coming. But if there's any other ones that are kind of more random that you want to see, definitely leave them down below. Follow me on all my social media. I'll put the links somewhere on the screen. You know what to do. But yeah guys, I will see you pretty bitches in my next video.